What's up, everybody? I'm Greg Miller. This is the Tech Tower, Scott Lowe, and we have to keep our voices down. We just put our little one to bed. Scott, we've been doing all this PlayStation 4 coverage. Yes. A lot of people say, oh man, can't wait for February. That's when Infamous comes out. I've been saying that. I'm going to continue to say that. However, we just saw Thief. I can't wait till February because that's when Thief comes out.
Yeah, this is my first time seeing it at all. I know some other editors had seen it, but I was actually kind of blown away. Like, I don't know if it's like my style of game. It's just like because I'm not very good at stealth and stuff. But,
sure.
It was really interesting to see. Like, the way you can approach everything kind of uniquely on your own.
Yeah, people always talk about that, right? Oh, you can come at our game from any direction. You can do this, you can do this. This one really felt like, just the way they were going, it's like, oh, if you wanted to run through this area, sure. If you wanted to go to the sky and go through the air ducts, sure. If you wanted to sneak around and do... Like, that was the kind of game where it's all about stealth and it's all about stealing, and it strikes me as if that feels like if I screwed up, I'd restart the level and try to do it again.
Yeah.
Or I'd come back and replay that level and try to do it completely without, being noticed. And I love the pie chart at the end that tells you if you were being a ghost or if you're, dynamite.
But it was interesting because, like, even though if you like screwed something up, it was like totally like on you to be like upset about that. Like they didn't scold you.
You obviously weren't super penalized.
Yeah, like obviously, like if you get caught stealing, like and you attract a bunch of heat, like that's a problem.
Right.
But like it's not like it doesn't end the game and you have to start over. Like you have to just deal with the consequences of your actions, which is kind of interesting, I thought.
I like that it wasn't about killing, it was just strictly about stealing. Like, I want to break into this jewelry shop, this is your objective, you get it, and you can leave, or you can continue to rifle through everything and get as much loot and as much money as possible.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I'm sure there will be plenty of players who will just kill everyone.
Sure, of course.
But, the way you can approach it is like you could go without ever being detected.
Right.
And in fact, it kind of encourages you to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know much about Thief, and when I was hearing people talk about it, when I see screenshots, it reminded me a lot of Dishonored, which a lot of people in the office loved, and understandably so based on its mechanics, but for me, never clicked. I never got too far.
Yeah, same for me.
Exactly, right? But jumping in and playing it, I was like, oh, this isn't that kind of game. This is a Greg Miller kind of game. This is what I want to jump into and do. Let's sneak around. Let's go over here. How do we complete the mission? That's awesome.
Yeah, no, and graphically, it's great looking. I mean,
really?
Obviously, it's a very drab game. It's not like, something like Killzone, which has a lot of color at times. Like, this was very much like a dark and stormy fantasy reality, and in kind of like an older era. So it was, but even within those confines, like it looked distinctly next gen as well.
Closing thought, I really like the tech stuff they brought to the PS4 in particular. Mm-hmm. They showed us, when you're holding the DualShock 4, obviously the light bar is blue, but it's only blue when you're hidden. There's a little hidden meter like any other game that'll tell you if you're in the shadows or not. But when you're in the light, the bar suddenly turns bright white, like lights up the whole room. Yeah. So if you're playing in a dark room with your headphones on, it would be the telltale sign that something's up.
Yeah, for me, like, the light bar has become a little bit of a confounding thing because like the camera isn't a standard feature for all people who buy this the machine. So it's like, how are people going to use that? Is it even worthwhile? And this was an example of something where it's like, yeah, that's kind of a cool, interesting, unique way to do it. I don't know how useful it ultimately will be, because I struggle to imagine like how closely you'll be paying attention to the like illumination on the ground.
But I mean, for me, it was even when he was playing it, like just the room lit up.
Yeah.
I understood the way the room looked that something was happening. And then I also like the touchpad for switching weapons, which I didn't think I'd ever say. But it seemed like super direct, right? That it was just like, oh, he had been using it so much that our demoer, right, that he knew like, oh, number 3, bam, and he hit it like a key binding or like, you know what I mean? Like,
and it was like, it was a grid, so you could just easily, do the gesture really easily to get whatever you wanted. So overall, it looked pretty good.
Totally. I went from not knowing anything about Thief really to like now being super stoked and jazzed for it.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of Thief? Let us know in the comments. Then share this video with your friends so they can hear the good word about this Thief. And then to find out if we're all just full of crap and it turns out not being great, look for the review here on IGN.